everyone, my name is Mitz, and here we are back at Higurashi When They Cry. We're finally out of the fragment section and now fully back to the standard chapter system. We're in chapter 6 right now, and now since everyone is now fully in swing and looks like Rika has some sort of planning everything together, Hanyo's now officially now part of the school and really the club itself, and is gonna get used to all the dynamics that of only just watching and not really be fully participating, honestly. And I'm curious now how Rika's actually planned to, I guess, dethrone, Takano in a certain sense. Whether she's gonna ask for help from Akasaka, if she expects him to come here, or has faith he's gonna be here. Because he's noticed, and is definitely probably gonna come back in Hinamizawa because of this. He just noticed from paperwork about the alphabet product that we basically learned that's what Takano went under for her funding, and how she got her power in case like that. And he's gonna make his way all the way to Hinamizawa just to explore more of that and follow up with Rika, honestly, and not the whole vacation he's having with his wife, honestly. It's just funny to think to me right now that he was there just saying oh yeah, hi Rika, if you need any help, I'll be right here. Next day, oh sorry, I went to the hospital with my wife. You can call me after. My good God, absolute worst timing. Why? Akasaka, you're great, but still. My good God. Back to the Fruity Shrine. I still love, this is, one of the very first shots of the town, honestly. It's a really, really good background shot. Is there actually a photograph of, of an actual town, just to, simulate this? Before they added, detailed painting and backgrounds, actually? That'd be really cool. Hanyo's already grown used to being around us. Since Rika-chan and Sadako are her age, she's become especially close with them. Well, yeah, makes sense. Of course, Reina and Mia are looking after her too. Reina told me something the day Hanyo joined the class. She said that Hanyo has been close to us for a long time, that she's been watching us play, that she always wanted to join us. Well, actually, it makes a lot more sense that Reina says it, because no matter what happens, probably the only reason that Reina's here around in town entirely is just because Hanyo literally just, was apologizing to her, in spiritual form when, Reina was going through a little breakdown, honestly, in their bathroom, which is still hard to think about, honestly. That's probably the only reason why she's here today, and that's why she knows Hanyo, or at least familiar with her, honestly, no matter what. It's not a whole case of, seeing her, hearing about her in other timelines, like Keiichi did. Reina probably, knows about her more closely than any one of them. Well, besides Rika, anyway, because it always happens to her. That's why she's here. She's alive. It must be a very odd feeling. I still can't remember seeing her before, but somehow I can believe it. Yeah, it makes sense. She's mostly talking about, remembering other, I guess, loots, but, yeah, she definitely would have had the most to recall of it, anyway. Hanyo's accepted all the things that surprised me at first, as she knew about them all along. She knows everything about us. That sounds stalkerish. It seems she's truly excited about finally being able to join in. Hanyo's definitely part of our group now. She sure is. It must feels like she's been one of us this whole time. That can't be true, though. No, it is. Tell it straight immediately. She's been by our side all this time. Huh? Are you saying that now, too? She was the guardian angel, okay? Okay. Reina told me that a couple days ago. Is it just that I didn't notice? Technically speaking. It's because you're dense, Keiichi. Okay, look, true? The same sense he couldn't notice, okay? Unless he went insane, which he technically did, before the month he came here, before his family moved. That definitely happened. Same way that Keiichi, literally just strangled the life out of Oreo, honestly. I hope that literally just transferred into every future timeline now. Every single one. Every single one. Oh god, that sounds actually, horrible thinking about it now. That even if if Rika gets, out of this, loop of, in Liv's past, June, and then she dies, you know, ripe old age, like, you know, natural cause and all that. How would it feel to, like, then the loop starts all over again? Oh no. Well, I guess it'd be better, I guess, but then you're just, like, reliving the same thing over and over again, but you're trying different things this time, but how would that feel? Oh my. Oh my. Meep, Hoshi. Fine. So what if I'm dense? You would sink into the river, okay? Oh, hello. Why are you two sitting down? Because we like sitting. Are you tired? You never feel tired, Hanyo. She's a bright ball of energy. Meanwhile, we're exhausted. Did you all run up here? It's because I waited so long to be able to play with you all. This isn't nearly enough. You're gonna drive them all bonkers then. If you try to keep this energy up with everyone. I want to play more and more. Hoshi. She finally said it. She's now fully integrated to the group. She said the word. She said the word. Star. Hoshi. She did it. You're full of energy. By the way, those things in your head, I swear to God, Keiichi, don't you fucking go there. I will send you into orbit. Don't they fall off when you play? Okay, that's a better thing. Okay, it's better. Unless it's one of those things now I'm just imagining if they weren't really true horns. I'm wondering how that actually would fit on someone's head, actually. Like, is it really just tying some string to your hair into a knot, and you just put in the inside hollow of a horn, or not? It just stays like that forever, or... You better not super glue it to your head, please. I wonder how someone can practically try to do a cosplay about that now. Hanyo has horns in her head. Yes. I thought it was a hair accessory of sorts, so I didn't want her to lose it while playing. I was gonna offer to hold it for her while she ran around. But Hanya's face clouded over, and she apologetically held onto the horns. These are mine! Keiichi, Hanya can't take them off. Huh? Oh, I see. Sorry about that. Immediately just glosses over that fact. Okay. Is it strange to have horns? Well, it's weird to see for a normal person, but not exactly. No, not at all. I think it's cute. Yeah. Kei-chan even has a horn between his legs, don't you? I swear. I swear. Stop. Though it's hard and Kurt's back. What? What? Aww. Okay, Keiichi, I swear to God, like, if you did that, then you did it good. Oh, what kind of horn is between his legs? What kind? Read your romance novels. Renaissance Punch is still the one I think I can't follow. Oh, you... Okay, that's even funnier. Punch straight in the fucking face. What kind of horn is between his legs, I wonder? You already know, Punch again. Renaissance Punch is still the one thing I can't follow. Are you quite alright, Mion-san? There's a press in your face. There's gonna be another one if she keeps talking. Everyone laughed except Hanyo. He didn't seem to get it. I'm more surprised that Mion laughed through the pain. I shouldn't have said anything. I bet she doesn't like to talk about her horns. But if I try to apologize, I think things would get even more complicated. As I thought about what to say, Ran took the girls over to the shrine gate. All of them. Keiichi, you're now alone. Well, don't worry about it, Keiichi. Anya tries to let her bother her, but she hasn't had enough training. Training? Oh, are you saying, like... Wait. Are you saying that Lilium, if she had way much more power, like, training of doing this, that she would try to hide her horns, honestly? Huh. Meep. So she doesn't like to talk about them, huh? Sorry, I'll be more careful. Hanyo came to Hinamizawa a very long time ago. She did? Very long ago. Probably, millions of years ago in the past. Huh. No wonder she knows so much about the village, including us, apparently. I don't know where she lived before she came here. I mean, you could always ask. I asked her once, but all she said was it was a place I wouldn't understand. It's a different dimension entirely. You wouldn't understand. I can't even begin to describe it to you. You have to see it with your own eyes. Hanyo said that she, or rather, Hanyo's people couldn't live there anymore. Okay, in that dimension. They looked for a new place to live for a long time. I'm assuming that some, like all the different gods and I guess spirits, congregating in like either going down a different town or just to a specific area. Forest, town, city, neighborhood. Yeah. They traveled a very long way before arriving in Hinamizawa. There was a beautiful swamp in the area, and that was exactly what Hanyo's people were looking for. Well, living in the mud, okay. But there was a village nearby where people lived. To show respect to the original inhabitants of an area was law among wandering people like Hanyo's. Her clan decided to live peacefully and coexist with the villagers. Okay, that's actually a kind of more interesting take than everyone in the village lived here before, and then they just moved in. Huh. Oh, this is different. However, their attempts to coexist didn't go so well. But they said the humans and demons live together! You said that! Well, the fable said that. How could they lie to us? The villagers were too childish and immature to accept these newcomers. They strongly rejected them, and caused a terrible, tragic disaster. Okay. And thus, a mass hysteria was born. Oh. Hanya said that she took their form and descended upon this land in order to subdue the disaster. However, she just couldn't hide her horns. Forbidden ancient documents say that Hanya descended to the Furry Shrine, appearing as she does today, as it states the following. Hanya's people can't live anywhere other than this village. Other than this village? Like, that's what the document said then? Okay. I don't think that's entirely true, but you know. They can also only live by coexisting with the villagers. The Furry Shrine's priest once rejected them, claiming that coexistence was impossible, mixing with the wandering people's blood caused the villagers to become demons. What? Again? Oh, screw you, priest. Honestly, it would be so cool to have demonic powers. Or just be all that. Like, it would be cool, okay? It'd be cool. How dare you ruin people's fun? But the young heir of the Furry Shrine fell in love with Hanyo, and when their child was born, the priest had to reconsider. Okay. That's funny. Oh, wandering people who cannot hide your horns. That sounds very wrong when you put it like that. You sound so condescending to say that. Cross it out your speech. If you wish to settle on this land, if you wish to settle with our blood, then I shall consider granting your wish. However, as the demon's blood mixed the villagers, it became hard to tell who was human and who was demon. The villagers began to cast suspicion on one another, haunted by that paranoia. Wow, you're just making a tragedy in your own making then. Unless all that was resolved, coexistence would be impossible. Wow, so you're saying that people have to learn who is a demon and who is a monster, and who the lineage is, so people live in peace then and know exactly who to discriminate against? Wow, everyone is so great in the old days. For you and I to coexist, we must lay down several laws for us to follow. They'll be very strict, and I am very, very sorry for imposing these upon you who have lived in peace until now. However, as long as those rules are followed, the village will be free from demonic disaster. What exactly is this disaster, honestly? Like, you're being vague about it, but I'm pretty sure it has nothing to do with them, I guess, I guess people have figured out about the early stages of this, say before, like, just slowly every single person turns to a mass hysteria, but, it's a disease causing it all. So, it's all the kids just because of that doing all this, but, it makes it sound like there's something else going on besides that. Very well, the rules will be followed, but much blood has already been shed in the village. Well, that's the fucking culprit's fault for just saying, you fucking filthy demon, and just, sprinkle holy water. Which I don't even think would work. Because, from the looks of it, it's holy demons. So, not unholy ones. So, that's not gonna exactly work. The anger, sins, and corruption people bear cannot be cleansed. The one law of the human world is that sins are atoned for with life. Okay, even minor ones? I see. If you say it's your way to let someone take on all responsibility and bear the sins with them, then we'll do that. Okay, this is ritualistic scapegoating. However, wouldn't people end up pushing responsibility on each other because nobody wants to die? Exactly. That's the ugly demon in the world of man. So you're saying then that there was already a demon in everyone before they all came to this village. Oh my gosh, it looks like people shouldn't even be worrying about that right now, wouldn't they? No one will accept their own sins, but only foist them onto each other. Since they can only clear the balance with their lives, everyone refuses to pay. The sins just keep adding up, piling up. Without cleansing them, they stagnate, and people cast them upon each other forever, doubting each other, and pass them around. I see. If that is the unopposable law of this world, and you yourselves are troubled by this law, in exchange for coexisting with us, I shall grant you a world where people do not blame their sins on each other. What kind of world is it? So long as mankind exists, they will commit sins and give rise to corruption. It feels like you're like the old priest, like has the whole thing of like everyone is corrupt in some way, or I guess to be more optimistic sense, everyone is capable of corruption. Let's go with that. How could that all be erased without foisting it onto someone else? Let me bear all the sins and corruption born from man, and purify my soul. Let all sins rest not with man. If they are born upon myself, then man will not need to force them on each other. What are you saying? Are you really going to make yourself into a sacrifice? Someone has to take on the sins, otherwise they won't be cleansed. That's the law of your world, isn't it? So Hanyo did all this, then was sacrificed, and now she's just been watching everything happen for the years to come, honestly. Huh. A different ancient document also states the following. Rika's been reciting all this to Keiichi right now. Oh my god. Reina and Mion are not here for this. Of course, it's a forbidden one too. Only the head of the Furude family is allowed to read it. Nobody else. Not even the other heads of the three families. That must suck for the Sonozaki family. They have one thing they're not allowed to read. Not allowed one thing they can control. Or at least Orio's case, anyway. It tells the unrest grew in people's minds. The villagers' evil hearts collected in the swamp and gave rise to demons. Not the demons making rise to demons, but it's the humans making demons. The Furude Shrine's priest explained that the root of all evil is the demon god of the swamp, and led the young villagers there. What? By the swamp, they found a demon mocking the unrest in people's hearts. Young villagers fought bravely, captured the demon, and dragged it to the Furude Shrine. Y'all make it sound like the demon just like teasing everyone for it, and then a whole bunch of people just showed up and beat the shit out of them and just carried them back and. Oh my god! Oh my god! If the demon didn't do anything else wrong besides that and nothing else, like, oh my god! Everyone in the fucking village is so fucking bloodthirsty. The priest cleansed the demon god, opened her abdomen, and dragged out her organs. Is this Hanyo or someone else? He shot them up and washed them down the stream, then threw the body in the swamp. Then people regained their sanity. Those who had been suspicious of each other became friendly, and they all shared in the joy of peace again. Okay, so I'm assuming you're saying that's like since the entire talk of Rika being like a queef hive mind, honestly. Like, it's literally just like trying to combine science and spirituality, which is actually kind of an intriguing concept. But that means, well, Rika gives off the good vibes. That must mean someone else in this village here gives off the bad vibes. It's not Mio, because she wasn't born in this village. I don't think so. I don't think her family has anything to do around here. So that means someone else in here, not even Eri, someone else gives off the massive bad vibes. We need to weed that person out and immediately kill them. It doesn't matter if they were living and doing the most good in the world, obviously. That means that they give off the bad vibes, so they must be dead. They must be killed. That's the mentality that seems like going on right here. Then people regained their sanity. Those who had been suspicious of each other became friendly, and they all shared in the joy of peace again. If these forbidden ancient documents are real, then the object of the villagers' worship, Oyashiro-sama, was captured by the villagers, forced to bear all their sins, and turned to death. So was that Hanyo, or literally an evil demon like literally called Oyashiro, Then the documents, I guess, misconstrued between Hanyo and Oyashiro-sama. That's a lot. Plus, it's clearly written that the demons appeared after unrest grew in people's hearts. It's clearly written? In other words, the demons were forced to bear the sin of discord, arrested with man long before they arrived. But I thought Hanyo and all of them appeared when the villagers already were here. What? Oyashiro-sama was a god who took on people's sins to mend conflicts between them. People eventually came to honor her. It said that it became the foundation of faith in Oyashiro-sama. I wonder, like, okay, if Oyashiro-sama and Hanyo are actually the same person, same entity, and not a whole mix-up of, like, another, I guess, being or entity, honestly, then I'm curious how Hanyo chose that name, then. That's actually kind of interesting to think about. I don't exactly know what it means, but I know one thing. When none of us humans would draw the losing straw, Sharp would draw it in our stead. To prove it, we cleansed our filth by letting Khan absorb it and drift it down the stream during the Watanagashi festival. There's no shame or shifting of responsibility involved. Until that system was created, we were simply demons who pushed our filth and responsibility onto each other. We can only cleanse our own sins by blaming someone else and sacrificing him by cutting open his abdomen. But Hanyo took on that job. A purification ceremony without a human life. A system that forgives people for their sins. That is the origin of the cult of Oyashiro-sama. You literally say it as a cult! Which blames not people for their sins, but the curse. Those documents were sealed away. If they weren't, people find out the object of their own faith was falsely blamed and killed by their own ancestors. Oh yeah, that would probably raise up a lot of different things, honestly. Oh god, that must be something hard to think about, that you worship a god and your own direct ancestors literally killed them? That must be hard to consider, actually. Oh my. Even if the god, like, you know, specifically asked for it, that must be hard. Hanyo apologizes. She takes in people's sins and keeps apologizing. When people can't deal with their own sins anymore, she accepts them. When Hanyo takes over, people are cleansed, and they are allowed to keep living. Okay, that actually parallels nicely with Reina's whole thing, honestly. So nice, actually. Demons take on sins by becoming Khan to absorb them. They are exterminated and washed down the stream, and the village is forgiven. They are forgiven for their own sins. If that's all true, then Hanyo, or rather Oyashiro-sama, has such a tragic existence. Yeah, pretty much almost everyone the cast here is pretty much just a tragic figure. I've asked Hanyo about this before, and then she told me the following story. 4 people are stuck in a snowy mountain cabin. They play a game where each sit in one of the corners. It's a fairly well-known story. I'm getting massive flashbacks to another game. It's in the middle of winter. They're all getting sleepy. If they fall asleep, they'll die. Yeah, hypothermia. So one of them comes up with an idea. They're sitting in the 4 corners of the room, so someone just has to walk clockwise the next corner and wake up the person sitting in that corner. The one who just walked over will sit in that corner, and the one who just woke up will get up and walk to the next corner, and wake up the person sitting there. They keep doing that, nobody will fall asleep. Huh. People who know the story won't need an explanation, but this doesn't work with 4 people. The first person gets up, the corner becomes empty. So if everyone takes turns, the 4th person gets to the next corner, which is an empty one, and then yeah, then when that happens, everyone starts immediately panicking, saying that oh my gosh, they have gone, they've vanished, I'm right over here, you dingus. Oh, thank God. They sit down and fall asleep, so the game is over right there, and everyone freezes to death. In other words, to play this game, you need more than 4 people. You need a 5th? Or a secret 6th, technically? Or a tag-along 7th? You need 1 more person in order to be saved. People usually tell this as a ghost story. They usually say that this was actually a group of 5 people, but one was actually dead, and thanks to that ghost, they're able to continue living until the next morning. Okay, that's actually kind of nice. Hanyo once told me that she's like that 5th person. If she can make everything run smoothly by joining a circle of people, then it's very similar to how the telephone game in the mountain cabin manages to function without breaking. How you can complete a circle that can't be realized by people alone. Then those people can live peacefully. She's an existence that completes a circle. Is she bothered by her horns because it reminds her of the time when she was called a demon, punished for the sins she took in? Yeah, like, I guess I mentioned this as well, that I think in Christian belief, talking about that, like, this whole thing, like, actually, horns, actually, like, you know, the halo symbol is actually legitimately, like, what angels look like. The halo symbol is actually leads to the horns, in a complete circle above angels' heads, honestly. And when, I guess, like, demons who were cast away from heaven, or were brought, like, you know, brought down to hell, and being forced to live down into hell, like, those demons forcibly cracked those halo horns because the horns, honestly, if they're in a perfect circle, give a perfect connection to God. And those demons break that so they don't feel that and try to live their own lives, honestly. Is she bothered by your horns because it reminds her of the time when she was called a demon and punished for the sins she took in? Is her subconscious still tormenting her with thoughts that those who have horns ought to be persecuted? Oh yeah, and I don't know any other religions that has like any kind of entity or angels or you know figures that have horns, so I can't say if like that continues on to there, but like the only thing I have to my head is like that Christian imagery from what little I know about it. I wonder like maybe it goes to that. I know Japan doesn't really have Christianity as its main form of religion. I think it was, like they mentioned before, it's like Shintoism, or I think there's a bit of Buddhism in there. I might be wrong though. That's what I remember off the top of my head. Don't know how more angelic figures are perceived or like, you know, showcased in them. She was born with those horns. She was hated and abused because of them. Oh, you're literally telling all of this to Keiichi to just say she's lived here for a while. She knows everything about you. I'm just imagining Keiichi's had just like Keiichi should be glad he's sitting down. She was born with those horns. She was hated and abused because of them. Oh yeah, and I forgot. Hanyo's like sitting right there and just listening to all this. Really? I definitely shouldn't have said anything then, huh? And just because she has those horns, she should have taken everyone's sins and cleansed them. I'm honestly, Keiichi, you're taking this all on massive stride, honestly. Good for you. She did that, and then she was worshipped as a god. Huh? Like, god? I was talking to myself. What? Forget about what? Huh? Rika, don't you leave this conversation. Nobody knows who Hanyo really is. Does Hanyo know herself? Is she really divine existence that descended from a higher place? You're simply an unlucky girl who became a sacrifice just because she had a pair of horns. Nobody knows. But this girl's blood was blended with the Fruity family's blood. That blood is descended to me. So that means Hanyo is literally your great grandmother. Our legends state that if the Fruity family is a girl for their firstborn child for 8 generations in a row, the 8th child will be a reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. Oh, has to be a girl for 8 solid generations for the firstborn? That's an insane amount of luck, honestly. How did that come up in documents and legends, actually? How? I don't know exactly what that means. But I'm that 8th generation, and look at that, you can see things. Is that why I was the only person who could see Hanyo? 8 generations is a very long time. Like, I think, well, from the sound of it, like, it's probably like every 50 years, so like, 50 times 8, like, that's like 400 years going past, and I feel like, I know people, like, you know, have kids, like, before, like, maybe, like, you know, 30s and all that, but, like, it's like 400 years or less. So, wow. Maybe that's how long it took for all the sins Hanyo assumed to be cleared. Like, she just... the sin just came, like, just went into her, and she just perfectly cleansed them and just, sent them down to the swamp or something? 8 represents infinity. It's a very lucky number. Oh, yeah, definitely, but is it actually, like, is number 8 actually, I guess a revered symbol in other, I guess, cultures? I don't think I ever heard anything of that. I heard, like, in the whole thing about, I guess the number 4 being, like, seen as, unlucky number because it sounds so similar to, I think, a Chinese word meaning death, and other superstitions like that. Is 8 actually in Shinto Buddhism? Or at least, Often curses uttered will contain, "I'll curse you for 7 generations," but the 8th lies beyond that. In other words, 8 possesses such good fortune that it can forgive great curses and sins that span 7 generations. It's a number with power. So you're saying the 8th generation should try to cure everything else, and that's literally why you're being cursed with that. Oh my good god. It's a time Hanyu needed to cleanse all the sins she took in from the humans. And now, because another outsider person came in the 8th generation, it's mucking everything up. That's why the curse, the title was happening. You see what you've fucking done, Mio? Do you see what you've fucking done to Kano? This is all your fault. And whoever that mysterious woman is who fed that kind of propaganda to her head in that car ride, honestly, in one of the fragments. It's their fault too, honestly. It's their fault too. We need to figure out who they are. So, they can, they should also be, taught to, cleanse their sins. In a nice way, obviously. Hanyo and her people simply wanted to coexist with us. But Hanyo had to become a sacrifice. Her stomach was cut open and the contents washed in the stream. Then she was thrown into the swamp. I wonder how, I guess, her lover back then took all this information now. Oh god. I wonder how they felt about all of it. Oh good god. And so the Fruity family has been waiting. They waited for a very long time for her to come back. They kept her traditions alive, waiting forever and ever for a return. According to legend, the name Furude was made by adding a horn to the character for fortune teller. Oh, nice. Okay, I love these kind of symbolism stuff, honestly. The Furude family rose when Hanyo's bloodline was combined with that of human beings. Hanyo is an ancestor of the Furude family, as well as the mother of us all. When I was little, Hanyo taught me a lot more things than my mother did. And your mother grew jealous because of it! Oh my god! It's no wonder. I'm a descendant. The curse of the clan who exercised and buried their very own mother was finally absolved after 8 generations, what seemed like eternity. Then she met me, her descendant, the final generation of the Fruity family. For now. Unless you just don't want to date anyone, then yeah. Sometimes when I think about that, I feel like there must be some important meaning to this hapless fate thrust upon me. But what kind of meaning could the trial I face, the trial of breaking through the obstacles sealing my fate, have upon the curse that plagued Hanyo and the Fruity family for over a millennium? 1,000 years is simply too long a period to communicate thoughts and intentions correctly. Yeah. Hanyo's become the curse we call Oyashiro-sama. Though she originally was a means of salvation, she's become a chain that binds people. The rules about coexisting were misinterpreted as a law that binds villagers to this place. They continued into the Meijing era. And while the village winds once again blow toward the misunderstanding of isolation thanks to the dam conflict, how does it play into my meeting with Hanyo and this motley fate we're trapped in? Oh, wait. Does that mean, like, when Hanyo was a part of the dam project thing again? That was, like, the most unfortunate timing ever because it was literally just a giant, like, parallel to, I guess, maybe around the time that even, like, when she was alive, I guess? Oh my good god. Oh my god. How does that play into my meeting with Hanyo? This motley fate we're trapped in? I haven't lived long enough to be able to understand that. The only thing I can say for sure is that the Fruity family originated when Hanyo's bloodline mixed with that of humans. And the lines from a descendant, me, finally met with his ancestor. Was it only Hanyo that actually, I guess, dated, like, another human back then? Or those are more? Or just because of the legends, honestly, because of what Hanyo and the Fruity, I guess, heir, honestly, like, I guess, grew close and, like, you know, loved each other then. Was it literally them, and that's literally where the whole, human and demon bloodlines mixing together thing came from? Or are there more? The Faruti bloodline bears a cursed history of placing all the man's sins into his mother and killing her. Now the beginning and end of that line have met. Hanya always wanted to join everyone, yet she couldn't hide her horns. Even so, she still wished to be in existence that completes a circle. Like to mend, like, into a halo? It's a child's job to bury their parents. But, Mother, never heard that it's a child's job to kill and bury their parents? Don't ask. Mom, I don't want to bury you. Shut up, child. You're gonna do it anyway. Oh my. I'm not human. My horns are proof that I'm a demon. A demon's job is to take on the calamities of the human world. Bearing the calamities of this chaotic world and cleansing the unrest in mankind's hearts is my role. And Mother, why do you have to be the one? People's sins are people's sins. They aren't yours. Listen, child. People live with their sins. They can't live without making someone else take the blame. Or like someone, I guess maybe alleviating the blame in some shape or form. Like, I guess you could say, like, how, when Reina, like, even, like, when Reina, like, killed Rina and Tepe, honestly, like, literally everyone, like, from Keiichi to Rika, Sadako, and Mion, not really just, like, you know, shift the blame, honestly, but share the blame, honestly, or just, like, help alleviate it. Like, that sense, honestly. And if no one's around to do that, or, like, you know, absolutely hates you for the sins there, and you can't speak up about it, in any case, then you're just gonna live with that guilt for a while. So then what can you do? Nobody wants to take the blame, so they shift that responsibility around. That is a demon. The true demon disrupting the world of man. By bearing it myself, man may be cleansed, and mankind can be freed from their destiny of doubt and conflict. Why'd you bring up destiny? Let all the sins, the filth, the karma, and the curse come to me. Attack me, purify me, wash me down the stream, and throw me in the swamp. A human will not do here. So is the fate of one not human to accept this role. If a human were made to bear it, then mankind would not be freed from the demon of doubt. I don't understand. I don't understand, Mother. Mother, you have horns. Are you saying that you aren't human just because you have horns? Yeah, like, don't go into that, honestly, just because you were born with something else. Or, like, if you're gonna take it, like, that negatively, like, born with, I guess, a physical deformity, then, no, it does not make you a fucking monster. No, it doesn't. It absolutely fucking doesn't. And even if you're a human, the horns make you non-human? Does that mean that everyone who, like, you know, dress up on Halloween, does that make them, like, you know, inhuman for a bit? Even if you have horns, you're human to me. My child, you're the only one who's ever said that. Even if everyone calls me, oh, you'd still call me human. What has passed down the Fruity's family's many forbidden scrolls, the ones unknown to even the heads of 3 families, sealed in the altar in the shrine storage. Understanding that would probably require about as much time as I spent repeating time. Okay. Yet once you understand that, perhaps you'll better understand the smile Hanya wears she innocently plays everyone. Well, I mean, Rika, if you live to the very end of your natural life and die of natural cause, honestly, and the loop repeats itself, then you could read those old records then to pass the time and try to figure them out and like ask more from Hanya, honestly. Are you okay? I heard Mion yell in surprise. Keiichi, he is collapsed. All this is too much for him. The memories are surging right through his brain now, hearing all about this of Hanya. I heard Mion yell in surprise. Something must have happened. What is it? What's going on? Hanyo-san tripped and tumbled down the hill over there. Oh, God. Hanyo-chan! Are you okay? She rolled beautifully, but I hope she didn't sprain her ankle or anything. Beautiful. Let's go look. How have I been playing in the slope and tumbled down it? There's a road just below the slope. Oh, God, right next, like, right up to a goddamn car road. God damn it. Me and the others went down the stairs to get to her. Let's go. I hope she isn't injured. Oh, hi. When I got there, I saw Tomotaki-san and Takano-san. They were taking care of her. Oh, hi. What happened? We just saw her roll down the hill. She did tumble beautifully, though. Everyone's gonna say that, huh? Like, did she do massive cartwheels or something like that? That's a part of me was wondering, like, as the Looney Tunes, like, gag them, like her horns get stuck in the ground, she, like, yanks them out like that. I think she hit her head, so I'm sure she'll get a bump later. Hopefully it's not a concussion. Make sure you put some ice on it, okay? Hanyo! Hanyo! Can you hear us? Look, how many fingers do you see? God damn it, that whole thing again. She seemed disoriented, but didn't appear to be injured. What a relief for everyone. I bet she's feeling dizzy from rolling. No, I'm glad. I'm glad you're not hurt. Just think, though. How lucky of you to have a nurse waiting for you down here. What perfect timing. Well, when I'm not working, I'm a wild bird photographer. Right, Jiro-san? Well, yeah, I guess. Amateur. Amateur, I'm pointing at you. You're still an amateur. Does that mean Tomotaki's still an amateur in bird photography? But is a pro in normal photography? Oh my gosh. A Hinamizawa kid would never get hurt from something like that. Oh no, don't do this whole thing again, where every single time a kid like looks like it got a massive injury, they just get up like nothing bad happened, not even a broken bone. But the very second they grow up, and they do the exact same thing. The adults get the worst exact thing. They get their organs gotten ruptured, and their bones break, and they have to get surgery, honestly. But when a kid does it, they have complete and utter immunity and invulnerability until they cross the threshold of adulthood. Oh good god. In other words, you're already one of us, Hanyo. Hanyo-chan. Is that your name? Never seen you before. I just moved here. Are you new around here? Yes, she is. She transferred in just last Monday. What are these? How peculiar. Oh, are you... Oh, wait. Oh my good god, actually. So you literally just So Hanyo, you literally show yourself to Mio, and several, like a few, like 5 or like 4 or 5 years in the line, you then just moved in, and like look at that next time you meet. There's some kind of toy. Nakano-san tried to poke at one of Hanyo's horns. Don't you poke my body like that. They've been an interesting hair accessory, if they were an accessory. Oh yes, that'd be really cool. That's what's cute about Hanyo-chan. Please don't touch them though. Oh, is that so? I don't think they're that cute, though. How fucking dare you, punt! I'll punt you into orbit! After all, they look just like a... Okay? Okay, oh god. Don't they? Suddenly Hanyo moan as if suffocating. Oh good god. Nakano, Hanyo's not a monster. Don't ever say that again. That's right, Nakano-san, that was mean. Like, my good god, that actually... Okay, if that's like an interesting way to incite a panic attack for the game right here to visualize, and oh my good god. Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. Technically, you're kind of. Rika-chan said it rather firmly. I'm sure Hanyo doesn't want to hear that word. Yeah. Even I technically don't think, like, it's not even that terrible of a word, honestly. Just, the negative connotations around it, honestly, will be upsetting anyway. Sometimes Takano-san says things in a derogatory way without realizing it herself. That's the big reason why Hanyo never went around Takano. That's why it took so long to figure things out. That makes a lot of sense then. Just everything that she does and talks about, then just like says off lots of insecurities then, or like brings up a lot of horrible memories. But I guess there are things you can't or shouldn't say. Hanyo was looking at Takano-san with a complicated look in her face. Just an expression, Takano-san realized that she might have hurt her feelings. She apologized and looked at Tomotaki-san. Quickly. Are you okay, Hanyo? You look beautifully too, so you're not injured. Why does everyone keep saying that? Rika, that person... Oh. Her? That's Takano. Oh, you don't remember. Takano. Takano. Hanya repeated Takano-san's name. All of a sudden, I grew worried that she hit her head or something. Oh, that's how she get the memories then, not a fucking concussion. Hanya stood straight up and grabbed Rika-chan's collar. It's her! She did it! Rika! It's Takano! 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 That's right, she's Takano. No, she's not Takano! She's the one! No, Rika! Takano! Takano! It's Takano! Do you remember? I know. You know Takano, right? Do you... Wow, you know her full name. From the Erie Clinic. You can't remember? Sorry, Hanyo. What are you talking about? Rika... This can't be... This is the last one. The last one? The last one? Oh, boy. She finally imprinted herself with a true enemy's name while enduring the pain of her stomach being cut open. And yet she can't remember. Rika Furude has failed to inherit the memory of the fragments. Not the very last fragment, though. It was definitely traumatizing, though, so I can't exactly blame her brain for that, so yeah. I can't tell if it's actually worse enough that she does remember all of that, or worse that she doesn't, and the loop is like she doesn't remember it at all. Oh, Akasaka-san! Oh, look at that. Okay, look, he's finally here. Long time no see. Oji-san, you haven't changed a bit. What are you saying? I've been on an apple diet lately, and I've lost a few pounds. A few. But you haven't changed your style in several straight decades, so yeah. You were always wearing the outfit as a kid, anyway. Like, you were always really dressing to be a police officer, even back then. The same red suspenders and tie and everything. Every single day at school. Everyone looked at you really weird as a kid. I've been on an apple diet lately. I've lost a few pounds, can you tell? But just look at you. You look great. Well, I have to stay in shape for my job. You have more than that. You do more than that, so stop being fucking humble, you. Hey, Kuro-chan, is this the guy? The guy? The one who came here a few years ago from Tokyo? Hyundai. Nice to meet you again, Hyundai-san. It's been a while. Oh, my, look at you. Must be nice to be so young. Well, since you came here such a long way, let's just head to a restaurant. I'm a regular there, so I'm sure we can get in before it opens. Come on. Oji-san, are you sure? And you still have some work to do? What? No, not at all. Just casually hides all that reports and paperwork right into a drawer. I want a special training with a mission investigator from Tokyo headquarters. Okay, that's funny. Come on, let's get going. This is special training. Oh wait, I gotta make a phone call first. They're greenhorns compared to someone like you. Holly doesn't have greenhorns or black horns, okay? I put some help together for us. Ah, there you are. Kuma-chan. Oh good god, now there's a thing in my brain now saying that demons actually have fucking horns, and they take human jobs, and their horn just turn green to just showcase they're still an amateur now. God damn, that's in my head now. I like the imagery now. You want to come play with us tonight? Oji-san, you really haven't changed a bit. Mahjong nut. Akasaka used to think Oishi wasn't serious enough about work, but after experiencing many different things in the real world, that preconception had completely disappeared. Oishi's that way because of experience. It's not always best to take things seriously, yes. In this world, sometimes being that frank can help. Who the fuck is Frank? Frank and Roger! In Akasaka's case, people often tell him to relax more. In Oji's case, maybe he should straighten out a little. Come on! Akasaka-san, let's go! Yes, at once. Yeah, good answer. He's like a veteran police officer now. Glad to hear it. The old Akasaka would have thought Oishi was making fun of him, but by now he could take it as an honest assessment. Ah, well, the years are done. I swear to God, like, I swear, the camera pans right down at the Mahjong parlor again, I swear. Boy, you sure can drink now, Akasaka-san. I don't think I can keep up with you. Must be true when that one gets old, he can't drink as much as before. Nah, you're too modest. And just better because an intelligence officer is to be able to hold his liquor. Can you do endurance tests like that, though? I have a budget set aside at all times for training with my young colleagues. Japanese sake, Western liquor, Chinese liquor, whatever. What, did you start out with the most strongest liquor known to man, like Everclear or something like that? Just don't ever drink that. Really, it tastes absolutely awful. But the second you mix in with anything else, like orange juice like that, it's nigh undetectable by human taste, honestly. It's actually kind of scary, but just thinking about it. Sometimes I drink at little bars and sometimes at expensive clubs. That sounds pretty good. I'll have to join you to coach them sometime. Yes, please come teach us your tricks. Young guys nowadays often talk about how they can't drink. I couldn't drink at all at first, you know. So technically that means you couldn't drink, and that's why you talked about it a lot then. So, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more you drink, the better your body adjusts to alcohol, and the more you enjoy drinking. That's right! Are you listening, Kuma-chan? Yeah, I heard. I can down a few quite now. No, really, you're right. When we first seen with Oishi, you were already drinking oolong tea with a toast. That's no good. A toast is a very important meaning. If you don't drink any alcohol, you're saying you're not satisfied with the party. So I see young people like that, I tell them, I'm not saying that you have to drink up in one gulp, but your first round has to be at least a medium mug. Huh, and I don't think I ever heard of that, for toast. Huh. When Akasaka first came to Okinawa, he was very nervous. There was no trace of that tension left in him. Seeing that, Oishi realized just how much Akasaka had learned in the past few years. It was only like 3 years, he's already grown up so fast. They grow up so fast. There you go, Akasaka-san. Man, you've really grown a lot more dependable. In the years I've been waiting to retire, you've grown so much. Might be time for the younger generation to take over then, huh? No, that's not true. There's one thing I've learned, it's that the only thing that matters is experience. Leave the hard labor and the crime scenes to us young officers, while you veterans like to take pride in your desk and work us to the bone. Yes, they do all the paperwork. Did you hear that, Kuma-chan? Did you? Did you? Oh no, you're doing Arena now. Okay, I heard him. I'll give it everything I've got. Oishi, Kumagai-kun is already giving it everything he's got. He's diligent about his patrols to make up for your distaste for them. You know how Oishi-san is, though, right? I've only worked with him for a few days, but I understand what you're going through. Even so, he'll make you into a good cop. Just believe in him. Yes, sir, I'll do my best. But even if I learn how to drink, I can't learn how to be good at Mahjong. Oishi-san takes on my pay before I can give it to my wife. Mahjong is intellectual baggage you need. The more you play, the more company you get. Let's play together later. I'll teach you how to not lose. Or just lose with a fucking smile. When he takes all your fucking cash again. Oishi, he's a good guy, huh? He kinda reminds me of how you were when you were young. That can't be. I wasn't nearly as handsome. It was unusual for Oishi to enjoy anyone's company this much. Oh yeah, like he's definitely way much more happier, honestly. It's actually being a bit infectious to me right now. Akasaka and Oishi only worked together for a few days. They exchanged some holiday cards since, but that was about it. I hope you get well soon in the hospital. Oishi had no idea how happy it would make him to see such a greenhorn grow into a dependable cop. He's graduated from greenhorns to bright red, fiery red horns. Oishi always thought he wanted to be active until the day he retired. But after seeing such a dependable colleague, he began to think that maybe it was time for him to step down. Oishi and Akasaka enjoyed their reunion more than they thought they would. What a pleasant night. The owner of the place was bringing the electric sign inside. All the chairs were up on the tables, and his wife was cleaning the floor. There's nobody else around. Judging by the clock, it was already almost 3 a.m. This is a reunion, right, Kuro-chan? Take your time, okay? Just wake me up when you leave so I can lock the door. Oh, sorry about this. Thank you. There wouldn't be anything else open at such a late hour. Oishin's colleagues still wanted to talk, so they decided to stay. Kumagai couldn't fight his sleepiness and was nodding off. They're talking about Akasaka's job. Akasaka works at a department specializing in public safety. Oishi and the others were interested in all the stories of danger and bravery, like the hotel one. Anyway, I want to meet with Rika Furude. By Rika Furude, you mean the orphaned daughter of the Furude family? Orphaned? What happened to her parents? Rika Furude has predicted that there would be an incident in Hinamizawa every year for the following 5 years. I think she did mention, like, well, did she mention, like, her parents died, like, back then in the 4th installment? Himatsubushi, I think? Did she bring that up? Again, I probably had it labeled out all in an old notebook sheet, but I can't find it anymore. It's now littered somewhere in my room. Ugh. Her parents, according to her, were supposed to be killed in the 3rd year running. Yeah, it was the 3rd year of the curse of Ishiro-sama. 1981 must have been. The Furude couple died rather suspiciously. It was 3 years after you came to Hinamizawa, Akasaka-san. 3 years? Did it happen in June? 3 years after I visited? Yeah, that's about right. Why? Something about it that bothers you? It's the anniversary. Akasaka shut his eyes tightly to chase away the alcohol in his brain and tried to remember the girl's prediction. He had, after all, come here to confirm it. I came here in 1978. And what about the dam construction site manager? Oh, that's the guy I played Mahjong with. How has he been doing? It was the newspaper, I think. Maybe it was just in the local ones. Well, he was killed in a fight with the other workers that year. Rika Furude had predicted that he'd be killed in a gruesome way. That his body would be dismembered. Was he mutilated? See, you know about it already. That's exactly it. His right arm is still missing, too. It's so unfortunate. The following year, on the same day in June 1980, Sadako's parents would be pushed to their deaths. Maybe it should be called an accident. A lamentable accident. For the outsider viewer, but let's keep it that way. I'll continue then. The following year, the year after the manager's death, I think... Let's see. Oh, I know. Sadako-san, I think she's a little girl? Wait, how do you know Sadako? Did Rika even bring that up, or... Did her parents die in an accident? Oh, how much do you already know? That's right. The dance supporters, the Hojo couple, fell off a cliff while on vacation. Though it still hasn't been confirmed if it was an accident or an incident. In the following year, the same day, in June 1981, I'm still wondering what the Hound Dogs did to him, I guess either, like, showcase off that the police shouldn't look into it anymore, or, like, that convince, I guess, Oishi that to steer clear away from Sadako. My parents would be killed. In the following year, yes, Rika Furude's parents died. But none of those incidents make sense. You sure know a lot about the curse of Ishiro-sama. None of those incidents were made public because of pressure from the locals. Surprised at how much you know about them. I can't believe this. Even you can't know about the following year. Because starting with the 4th year in a row, we decided to investigate secretly. I think I know about it anyway. In the following year, the same day in June 1982, Sadako's mean aunt will die. Her head will be smashed in. The following year, so that was last year. Sadako's son from earlier, wasn't her aunt beaten to death? Shit, you're right. Akasaka-san, how do you know so much? I think I know who will be killed the year after that. What are you saying? Since the year after last year means it's this year. I'll be killed. It'll be June 1983. In other words, this month. Rika Furude will be killed. Oishi and the others were at a loss for words. Akasaka talked about the 4 mysterious incidents. Although he'd been far away, he belonged to a very special unit of public safety. It could have been possible to find out about their secret investigations. That was why it wasn't that odd for Akasaka to mention the series of mysterious deaths. God, taking the phrases back again. Even though he had been far away from Hinamizawa. I was actually debating about that too, though. And they probably wouldn't believe him that quickly just because of his position, honestly. Like, if he was that far up the totem pole, honestly, he would probably hear about it, or, like, look into it at any point, honestly, so. However, not only did he know about them, but he also named the next victim. Oishi and his co-workers had sobered up entirely. That's the best way to get alcohol out of your system, not bread or water. Just loudly declaring that that person's gonna die next. Akasaka-san, it's getting late. We're all exhausted, so let me get to the bottom of this. What is it you're trying to say? Okay. All this is what she told me when I was in Hinamizawa in June of 1978. What? Oishi couldn't believe what he was hearing. He was left speechless. I know it's hard to believe. When she told me back then, I thought she was just being a mischievous little girl. But she told me she was going to be killed in the 5th year running. In other words, she asked me to help her, I think. The main purpose of my visit to Hinamizawa this time is to find her and ask her if she still needs my help. Akasaka-san, I'm retiring this year. I want to take revenge on the people who killed the manager in the 1st year. I'll jump on any lead I can find. I thought you were just when you're first saying that you're just gonna go on the other side to say him up, but you're sounding crazy right now. So let me just confirm this with you. What you just said isn't a joke, is it? If it is, you better tell me right now. I'm telling you the truth. Rika Furuta told me this in June 1978. At the time, I didn't think anything of it, so I didn't tell you about it. I'm very sorry. No, you didn't know. Even if you had told me, I don't think I would have believed you. Only because it happened 4 years in a row do we believe you now. Oishi must have been thinking that if only Akasaka had told him back then, he could have saved his friend. No, but since it sounded crazy, it was not going to happen. Maybe if, probably the only time Oishi would have saved him, honestly, if you got prior warning and people actually believe them because there's actually something to him, there's actually something that actually proves that, honestly. If, that damn construction worker died, in later years, then yeah, there's definitely a chance to save him, but since he was the very first one, he was pretty much guaranteed to die. But what the old man from Phoenix just said was right, too. Oishi wouldn't have believed him back then. His friend would have died anyway, and Oishi would have been left with regret and not being able to do anything. Yes, again. Even though you're in the same, it's the exact same thing, the theme keeps propping up as well. Where something bad happens, and it feels like you were in the absolute perfect position, it feels like, to do anything. Whether, Oishi was a cop and was already being involved with, projecting past the protest, honestly, and his friend was working primarily in there. He was there, he could have saved him, honestly, but since something that happened out of the blue, out of nowhere, there was absolutely nothing you could have done. Even though, from the sounds of it, you were the perfect person to, save them, honestly. You just... A lot of the other factors, honestly, just made it so it was impossible for you to do anything. That's true. I should be the one apologizing. Still. Rika Furuta. Why Rika Furuta? Strokes chin. Scrunches the face again. I don't know exactly what's going on in Hinamizawa right now. I read in the papers that the dam construction plan was halted indefinitely that same year. That's why I assumed Hinamizawa was peaceful now. Well, the dam conflict is over, yeah. Starting the following year, these mysterious deaths, known locally as the Curse of Yoshiro-sama, start to occur annually. They play out just like you said. I think she's entrusted me with something extremely important. Oji-san, let me ask you. Do you think it's possible for Rika Furuta to be killed this year? They said the Furuta couple was held in low regard for being so passive during the dam conflict. Was the wife, though? I doubt that, but I could definitely see the husband, though. Why the wife? That might be the reason why the curse fell upon them the 3rd year. I guess maybe just because Rika's mom didn't, try to change her husband's mind, honestly, and, even if they did talk, he didn't change his mind, so the whole town then just assumed that, the wife wasn't harsh enough on her husband then? Okay. Alright. It might be the reason why the curse fell upon them in the 3rd year. So, I do think that Rika Furuta's death... It's possible, isn't it? Oishi nodded slowly. So literally, if Rika's parents weren't killed, then... Huh. This wouldn't all, I guess be believed then, easily. My good gosh. I'm gonna get in touch with Rika Furuta tomorrow. I think the best thing to do is talk to her directly. Can I come with you, Akasaka-san? The story about Rico Furude sounds like something very important for me, too. My. You've come bearing quite the incredible gift. I'm getting a bit intrigued myself. Never thought I'd see the day when all the mysteries were solved. In my lifetime, no less. Well, I have some questions, too. For instance, why did she tell me something that important? If she wouldn't help, why didn't she ask the local police? Why me? A guy on a business trip from Tokyo. I bet she doesn't have faith in the local police. Yeah, from the sound of it, honestly. From the damn conflict and, maybe other, loops where, she directly asked Oishi, honestly. It did not help at all, honestly. Well, it's just because she didn't have the right true mastermind in hand, or, even if Oishi figured things out, he died like that. Then that's why, it felt like she couldn't ask them for help. Not just because incompetency, but, they weren't gonna help at all. So, yeah. I bet she doesn't have faith in local police. I'm a little unrefined. Yes, you kept making a lot of fights, honestly. Even again, I'm still not fucking forgiving you in my own fucking brain about of making a fight with Keiichi in the third installment, honestly. My god. There's a part of me that's wondering that if you were actually way more nicer then, Keiichi actually might have not immediately resorted then to to that, but because of that and a whole bunch of different things and so many support groups down the drain, it led to that, yeah. It just became the very last resort. At least in his brain, anyway. Which, again, I cannot really blame him for, honestly. I'm a little unrefined. Riko-san probably doesn't trust me. Probably not fully. Besides, there are people with connections to the Sonoseki family, the Okonomiya PD. In other words, he trusted me, the guy who came from Tokyo, more than anybody, because you're a complete and utter outsider with no ties to anything. Yeah, I guess. If that's the case, Oishi-san, please don't tell anybody else about this. Of course I won't. Anyway, let's head directly to Hinamizawa tomorrow and have a talk with Rika-san. We can start from there. Huh. Oh, I'm just imagining now Hanyo's latest wait, where is Hanyo sleeping? Oh yeah, I was already imagining Hanyo was literally just grilling Rika about it. It's Takano! No, it's not. It's Takano! And just going back and forth until Rika believes it. Lily. Does that mean Sadako is in here? Is Hanyo, Lily living here? Or, she decides to go invisible and, goes anywhere else? Does Hanyo even need sleep? I don't think she does. It's hard to believe, but it's the truth, isn't it? It was the middle of the night. Only sounds of insects and Sadako snoring could be heard. Riko's sitting by her favorite window. How many different windows are there? Yes, Takano's the one who killed you, Rika. You and I both saw it. I tried so hard to remember Takano's face. Even if you cut your stomach open, you burn her face to your memory while enduring all that pain. That's a horrible way to die. I'm glad I don't remember. Yeah, that's the whole thing, yeah. It was worse to remember it or not. But I can see it. And that's the kind of death Takano would prefer. Still, I don't get it. Why would Takano kill me? I'm the Queen Carrier, and if I die, a disaster will occur, right? Well, that goes to a whole list of things about, politics. Which, in some sense, still kind of eludes me. It's not even, if they explain, it gets, simplified, the politics down a bit, maybe I understand it more, but, it's probably simplified down as much as it can be, but, just because, again, I don't know too much about Japanese government systems, and, just politics, on that scale in general, then, it makes things, go immediately way out of my control in my brain. So, yeah. Isn't that why the Ear Institute and the Mountain Dogs are protecting me? In a sense. Then why would Takano, their leader, have me killed? Sorry, this is a useless question. Takano killed me. That's the truth, then her motive doesn't matter, does it? Not right now, anyway. But just to figure out who technically killed you, that's what matters. Motive can come later, if it becomes important. But still, why Takano? Although she just said the motive didn't matter, Rick went back to the same question, again. The reason why Takano was protecting the Queen Carrier wasn't because she wanted to prevent the rest of Hinamizawa from developing the syndrome. It was because the Queen Carrier was an extremely valuable subject of her research. Then, considering that value, why did she kill the Queen Carrier with her own 2 hands? Is Takano my only enemy? No, we have a giant entire corporation going against you too, so oh boy. Man dogs are after you too. I don't know if Eerie is your enemy or not, but I don't think he is. Takano and the man dogs are my enemies? You've gotta be kidding me. How can we possibly win? There's no way. Unless it's a miracle of some kind, we can't fight against people like them. Besides, Wanto Nagashi is this Sunday. Okay, I want it in complete writing. What day is it today? Is it Tuesday? Is it like, is it like a week behind this? Is it actually a month away? Please, I need to be sure of this. Last time was a disaster because of it. I'll be killed on the 22nd. It's in about a week or so, right? How can we beat them in such a short amount of time? Should we try going after Takano with a metal bat? That won't work. She's only one of them. If we take her out, the mountain dogs will still get us. So, if it was really just one person, then violence technically is the answer. Well, the easiest answer anyway, but but since it's a giant corporation, have fun trying to absolutely dissolve and dissolve the entire corporation there. The only thing that's gonna work is either some blackmail, or really trying to raise some kind of weird awareness to higher ups or like other factions of Tokyo, and more than that. But that's a tall order. That's a tall order. If we take her out, the mountain dogs will still get us. What do we do? What should we do? I don't know either. But we didn't even know our enemy before now. This time, we do. There must be something we can do. This is the first time in a long time that Hanyo's spoken so positively. Look at that face determination, honestly. That's really new. That's kind of nice. Rika was startled for a moment and realized that she was losing her cool. She took a deep breath and tried to calm herself down. She was still confused that Takano was the culprit. Rika had always thought of Takano as her ally. In a weird sense, honestly. There were, after all, many reasons why Takano should treat her well. Yes, exactly. Rika couldn't even think of one reason why Takano would want to kill her. Still, Takano was always thinking about bizarre things. The conspiracy theories went into her head. She's become a giant nut. There's no guarantee that a crazy idea of hers couldn't become a motive. So that means that Tomataki's killed. And is he an ally? I think he is. He's technically sort of an ally to everyone from the sound of it. We haven't heard a single bad thing about him. Except for, I guess he's a tiny bit unreliable, but, that's what everyone thinks of him anyway. Which is, yeah, sad, though. That's an idea, Rika. You should talk to Tomataki. Takano was accompanied by the Mountain Dogs because of an organization named Tokyo 2.0. So could Rika ask for help only from someone affiliated with that organization? In that case, Tomataki was the only one she could talk to about the issue. Although, Yuri might also be worth having a talk with. But then, that was why she needed to know. She needed to know why Takano wanted to kill her. Unless she could explain that, they probably wouldn't even believe her. Besides, Tomataki was in love with Takano. He wouldn't doubt her so easily. Yeah, that's probably the other thing, honestly. Yuri seemed to be keeping a little distance from Takano. He might be a little more inclined to believe, but as someone who was simply a doctor, he knew very little about Tokyo. He might end up being useless to Rika. Then, should she call the police? No way. Definitely no way. There's no way they would believe her. If she were to make a call and say that a strange organization named Tokyo was trying to kill her, they'd think that she was crazy. Yeah, it comes the whole thing of the truth is turned into fiction, honestly. Or really just to, you could simply just lie and give a believable lie, honestly, to that case. But, I think it goes down to an organizational, thing right here that I can't think of a single lie that actually helped them spur the police into action to protect you. At the same time, go after some big invisible force, honestly. And that's a giant tall order. Then what could she do? How could she save herself? The scariest people in Hinamizawa are coming to kill her. How could she run from them? Take a train ticket. How could she fight them? How? How? If she'd remember the scene of Takano killing her, then she wouldn't have been so confused. Because seeing is believing. But she didn't remember. This is just what Hanyu was telling her. She didn't want Takano to be your enemy. This was the truth she didn't want to accept. So she was tempted to just say that this is all simply Hanyu's delusion. Calm down, Rika. We learned in our past life. Don't you remember the previous world? The previous world? You mean the one where Reina spread gasoline all over the school and locked everyone inside? No! No! The world after that. Don't you remember? In that world, he came back. Teppei Hojo did. That's the worst possible world. Oh no, and like because of that, now she doesn't want to think about it anymore. God damn it. No matter what we do, the counselors won't do anything. Sadako goes insane within a few days. Someone from our circle of friends developed the syndrome and attacked Teppei, right? No. No, no. In the previous world, we all went to the Child Consultation Center and saved Sadako. In that world, Keiichi taught you so much. He taught you that you had to believe, otherwise a miracle won't occur. And he also said that if everyone believes, our wishes will definitely come true. That's sure something Keiichi would say. Delusional. But that's great. To defeat the world where Teppei returns. We couldn't do anything about that world even once before. Do you know how Keiichi and the others in that world make a miracle happen? They talk to everyone. They didn't convince themselves it was useless or agonize over it by themselves. They asked everyone for help. That's how they brought about a miracle. Everyone? So you want me to talk to Keiichi and the others about Takano? Do you think they believe me if I tell them an organization like Tokyo is after me? Just, again, slide over the entire time loop thing. This explains a lot why. Okay. You did not remember all this, but from the sound of it, yeah. Huh. That explains my whole thing, then. Yes, they will. They did in the previous world. Why won't you believe me, Rika? Sorry, it's not that I don't believe you. You saw it, so it's the truth, isn't it? I had no idea how frustrating it would be to not remember it myself. Anyway, you and me going on and on about this won't solve anything. We don't have enough power on our own. We have our weapon. Our weapon is the truth. We don't know her motive. We know that the culprit is Takano. So this is a very good start, compared to all the other worlds. But why? Why can't you remember at the very end? Hanyu ground her teeth remorsefully. She saw the truth just a short time ago, so she couldn't believe that Rika didn't remember anything. It was something that she'd seen herself, then she wouldn't even need a motive. But she hadn't. And that was why she couldn't understand. Why was her memory missing, even when Hanyu's memory was still intact? Did that mean their long journey was about to end? Perhaps her infinitely repeating journey was already over, and this is the last world of all? I thought this world was odd, since everyone could see you. Even transferred to their school, but now I can really see how strange a world this is. Oh, you didn't even realize, like, you didn't realize how things were odd. The Han decided to, this time, make herself visible and transfer to school, honestly. You thought this was just a normal loop, honestly. Okay. And that's the funniest thing here in the entire series because of that. Just that one thing. Okay. Nothing strange about it. This is the final world, that's all. That does not bode well. Not bode well at all. I came to this final world so we can gather all our powers. I'm not a bystander here. I'm your ally. I see. You're no longer a bystander, huh? I decided not to be afraid anymore. I'm not afraid. I'm not gonna believe, and I'm gonna believe with all of you. And a miracle will happen. This is the world we can bet on. This June 1983, put all your bets on the table. Rika and Takano are fighting. If Rika doesn't defeat her enemy in time, she will lose. Takano has many powerful pieces, and the Mountain Dogs. Rika will need a lot more pieces to be able to defeat her. So unless Rika asks for help from many people and gathers an equal number of pieces, the game won't even begin. We learn the rules of this game board by playing the game repeatedly. It's like a game without a manual. But we learn the rules, and now we know how to fight. We're ahead in the game because we already know what pieces our enemy has. Rika, you've had to get busy. We have 1 week before Nagashi, so that means Rika, you should start spreading out flyers, honestly, about joining the cause. We had 2 weeks in the previous world, we only have 1 week in this one. In other words, this is our final chance. Unless the next world, honestly, is you only have the day of the festival and then a few days afterwards, which holy shit, that's no time at all. Okay. Rather than grieving over what I don't remember, I should be grateful that you do. Because you didn't, this final world would end while we ran about in confusion. Also, I talked to Keiichi and the others in the right way, maybe they'll come up with some good ideas. Because he was the one who fought with Reina in the previous world, and when the school was about to explode, he brought her back. He's a miracle worker, okay? Like, verbally speaking, honestly, too, though. Exactly! Anyway, let's go talk to anyone we can find. Again, literally, make flyers, print them out, and spread them to each house. Except for Takano's. We're 2 weeks by ourselves. Let's gather people and think about what to do. We gotta take our first steps towards the miracle. And we have to do that within a week. Hanyo never encouraged her like this before. She always pretended to be a bystander. She never wanted to go through the pain of failure, so she never had expectations for anything. But now she was trying to intervene in this world so passionately and proactively. According to Hanyo, there had been another world after the one in which Reina occupied the school. It must even be even more terrifying than you get so used to remembering the past loops that you forget an entirely good one, honestly, where you learn something good, honestly, something amazing happened, and yeah, that's actually kind of terrifying. Like, lapse in memories, honestly. Oh god, I hate that. I hate that in my brain, honestly. My god, that actually terrifies me. Apparently, Keiichi really inspired her in that world. Rika had nothing to lose. She had talked to whoever she thought she could trust. And whether she tried or not, she had only had a very short time left. She had to do whatever she possibly could until that time arrived. She would never again act like that it was cool to sip wine and pretend to be a witch as the end closed upon her. Well, you could still do that, but still do other things at the same time, you know? Just don't do only that thing, okay? You can still act cool like that. Cool as the ice cubes in the glass. Nomura. Hello? It has been a while. This is Nomura. Yes, thank you for the detailed documents the other day. This is back in the checkpoint. What Takano gives the documents then. We've seen 1 or 2 things about this before, but I'm assuming this is like just shooting like research notes and documents from I guess the Ear Clinic to Tokyo, or just, you know, some hidden correspondence. This is actually the one thing that like they haven't, I guess, delved too into just yet. They basically just only showcase that it happens, but nothing else. So, Thanks to the data, men from the Ministry of Health and Welfare now understand how dangerous Hinamizawa syndrome is. That's the combination of you and the late Dr. Kano. Oh, it's this little woman. It's the lady. I've only made sure that you received your fair assessment is all. Anyway, I'll make sure the Prime Minister reads your documents. He's our leader, after all. I'll have the most important person in this country read your article. Make sure he understands what important research this is, and why Hinamizawa syndrome is an issue that needs its attention. Also, I'll make sure the present board of directors realize how stupid they were to ignore your research and ridicule your grandfather's thesis. Indeed. I have great news for you. We decided that after the operation is completed, the actual location will be isolated and shut down. The other department of the SDF will take over the research. You'll be welcome there, and you'll be able to continue research for as long as you want without worrying about political factions or funding. Okay, actually, that explains that whole thing, actually. That perfectly lines it up, actually. So, it's in secret, but they don't have to worry about anything else organizational-wise. Huh. don't understand exactly what Nomura's gonna get out of this whole thing, but that sounds like almost a perfect deal for Takano, honestly, to fully invest herself in. And now I'm just wondering, Takano's little I guess unique little tick, honestly, for her character is when she like giggles, you know, that he thing, and Nomura has it. Did Takano actually like laugh like that before? I mean, Nomura in the very like last fragment we've seen of her, when we were like going through those 51 fragments, did she laugh like that before then? I don't believe so. I'm wondering now if she just took out the character trait because like Nakano like got that much respect from her then. So, you know, she's only just appeared in this installment. You'll be welcome there, and you'll be able to continue your research for as long as you want without worrying about political factions or funding. That's all thanks to your generous client who wants to reward you for your hard work. And who is this client? Who is this new client besides Koizumi? You'll be given the position of director, so you can devote yourself to your research. Isn't that wonderful? Finally, you'll be able to accomplish something that overturns common knowledge by researching Hinamizawa syndrome, the existence of parasites that influence human thought. No, I'm not just saying that to flatter you. It kind of sounds like you are. That's what we really think. We? I see. Sorry to take up your time. I'll be going now. I'll get in touch with you again. The woman put down the handset of her car phone. Then she picked it up again and made another call. Please transfer me to extension 1001. Yes, this is Watanabe. That name sounds so familiar. Watanabe? Yes, the issue from the other day has been taken care of. Yes. Major Takano's documents were wonderful. Made some people from the National Research Center go along, so the men believed it without questioning. Yes. That's no problem either. Most of the cabinet ministers from enemy factions will be either leaving the country or going on vacation, so they'll be out of Tokyo after the 20th. Yes. There's still some unsettled issues. Everything will be set up by June 23rd. Yes. Therefore, the onset operation will take place at midnight on June 22nd. The Prime Minister will be asked for emergency sanctions on the 23rd. Yes. Everyone aiding the Prime Minister on that day will be our people. He won't even question a thing. I was wondering, because like some things like on the Prime Minister thing sounded way too accepting of the idea. Like way too much. There's not even a tiny bit of doubt or anything like that. It sounded too convenient, honestly, to say. Yes, I'm certain. The Prime Minister will definitely sign Emergency Manual 34. Afterward, an investigation into Alphabet's duties will be taken up. And the Okuno, Chiba, and old Koizumi faction will lose a great deal of sway. Yes, that's right. It's only a matter of time before we succeed with the Asian Amity and Reconstruction Summit. That's true. There's money to spend on developing domestic nuclear arms the Japanese-American alliance spanning the Pacific. It would be more profitable for our nation to spend it on the ODA toward China. Okay, you immediately have lost me. In the 21st century will be the era of China, with our nation claiming a good portion of the world's population. Well, that's kinda true. Japan gets nothing out of wagging its tail for the US anymore. Yes, I know. The 21st century is almost here. Yet we're still saying that communism is the greatest evil. Maybe we've been watching too many bad American propaganda movies. No. Yes, I understand. Okay then. I'll see you in Macau next week. Yes, I like to gamble. Oh, good God! She doesn't like mahjong. She actually goes with poker then. Oh, good God! That's how to make her a true villain here. Yes, it was nice talking to you. I'll get in touch with you soon. The woman put down the handset of her car phone and took a breath. She smiled in satisfaction, then picked up the handset again. You are fucking busy! Give me the Chief Cabinet Secretary, please. Yes. This is Mitzchievous. Okay, you have so many names then. Yes, it's me. Chief Okuno. Uh-oh. Well, that explains quite a few things, actually. That explains quite a lot, actually. Just 1 week. Oh, it's a figure 8. Began preparations. Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay, that actually goes to a lot of different, like, we now have several, like, threads thrown up, actually. And again, since the whole entire thing with Oishi, like, looking like they're being more reliable now, it then just comes to the question of how was all this going to be prepared to be ended by without Akasaka? Honestly, did was it instead of Akasaka getting the whole thing of noticing anything like noticing with the Alpha product, then it was actually meant to be Oishi like somehow noticing a document, something as paperwork, honestly, or just coincidentally bumped into someone who's part of the Alphabet product or something like that, and like hear something weird and says, "I'll look into it more." It feels like that's the only other avenue I can think of on top of my head for all that. But well, thinking about it now, just going back to that tip to me because I'm look at it. It's a good background. It's a good. And there's music. There's music. There's music. Good, sweet, glorious music. At least now that Hanyo has convinced Rika, at least in some semblance, because she doesn't quite remember the entire last installment actually. So even though she like believes Hanyo, like it's more like she can't fully reconcile in her brain, honestly. I guess a sort of weird sort of kind of dissonance, honestly. The entire like last installment showcased how they figured out it was Takano, honestly. And every single other one was just Takano's just fine. She's weird, but she doesn't want to absolutely kill people or anything like that. But it just goes to that sort of kind of dissonance in Rika's brain from the looks of it and sounds of it. So yeah, unless she remembers it, like, I guess way later on, or probably never. Then like she just has to go with this whole thing. It's definitely just Takano and nothing else from Hanyo, and Hanyo is like just gonna do her whole thing to make connections in the town itself, and then move on from there. So, and it's still so goddamn funny to me, just that one throwaway line that Rika just like, oh, you just made yourself visible, you transferred to the school, and you joined the club, honestly. Huh. Wow, this loop is pretty normal besides that. Why would you think that's normal, Rika? Why would you think that's normal? I mean, even you yourself thought that Hanyo like preferred to be a bystander. Why'd you just like take all of that and immediately just say like, oh, you're not a bystander anymore? My good God, you like Rika, you say Katie's dance, but sometimes you're a tiny bit too. Okay. But at least Akasaka and Oishi is gonna talk to Rika, and don't know exactly how Rika's planning to say all that. Probably bring the entire thing at Ear Clinic. Maybe like give the entire thing to like push them away, but like they probably would believe her anyway if like she told the entire truth without him trying to, what is the word, skirt around a tiny bit to explain something, then say about the mountain dogs, political research into Hinamizawa syndrome and disease, honestly. And just talk about how the ear clinic connected everything. They look into it a bit, then just Rika like feeds more and more information to them to the truth. That's kind of what Reina did anyway in the 6th installment with then it went to the gasoline thing at the school, honestly. But because she was into the disease thing, that made everything worse. But It all just comes down to what Rika should tell everyone, like even her own friends and even the police, how much she can tell them, just so they get on her side and believe her and actually start brainstorming different ways. I can definitely see that, like, about me and Keiichi and all that, like, him and Sadako would believe Rika probably way more wholeheartedly, I guess, because like they're that close. But maybe Akasaka and Oishi may be a tiny bit like less trustworthy, a tiny bit, because all that to the head. Even though they do believe she can foresee the future, there'd probably be a bit of pushback, honestly. For like expressing doubt and all that. And then until they actually research into the inner clinic, honestly, and then their doubts get suppressed, honestly. So yeah, there's that. Well, things are looking up then. I actually kind of wish a tiny bit that there's a part that kind of wishes that Rika doesn't remember, I guess, all the sentiments of the last installment and just picks things up again. like as things go along, and just sees it all happening all again around her, and just doesn't really properly remember the last installment because she doesn't really need to. She's seeing it all in full time. Just let that bad ending just go and rot away. Good ending should take place. Let it take root, take form. Let other writers be thrown in the trash. It's not useful to us. Maybe to well, it's good for Hanya, but not everyone else. Not everyone else. So just keep this in mind. Keep that in mind. Not the absolute horrible way you died last time. Don't do that. Don't remember that, honestly. That still would be very traumatizing. Plus, yeah, I don't really do too well with body horror, honestly. It skees me out so much. It honestly just does, out of almost everything. That's probably the one thing I absolutely hate. Yeah, the whole entire thing with Rainey's section, and finally hearing how you apologize. It got to me in a few different levels. I'm just skeevish about that, honestly. But it looks like Akasaka Noishi will be talking to Rika tomorrow. Probably then to Hanya will get a second opinion. And Rika and Hanya will all talk to her friends and make some sort of plan and toss around ideas. It'll probably be way more... It'll probably be like almost a continued thing of how the third and last summer went of him tossing random ideas out and somehow feels like there's not a good option until someone thinks of an epiphany moment, and Shion better make an appearance. She better. But I guess we'll figure all this out for next time. So, for the time watching this as I am playing this, hope to see you next time, the time that may be, and I hope a fantastic day.